Netflix has released a new docuseries entitled One in 7,641, inspired by the 7641 islands of the Philippines. The series follows young Filipinos raised abroad as they return home to explore their heritage, culture, and identity. In this episode of Kain Tayo, Washington, D.C.-based Filipino-American chef Danielle Comerford embarks on a culinary journey across the Philippines. The episode highlights how cuisine preserves traditions, tells stories, and builds a sense of belonging for those rediscovering their culture. One in 7,641 debuted on Netflix on August 27. And to talk more about this docu-series, we have Washington, D.C.-based Filipino-American chef Danielle Comerford with us. And with her is her mother, Chef Cris Comerford, the first Filipino-American executive chef of the White House. Good morning. Magandang umaga sa inyo. Welcome to Morning Matters.
Good morning. Good morning as well.
Hi, okay. It's so nice hearing from you. Tell us all about, I guess, first of all, this show. How did it come to be, and what roles do you play in the production?
So the show One in 7,641. I was reached out to by my lovely Sonia Tita. Her name is Sonia Delen, and she helped produce this amazing series. And we were just so excited to be a part of this. I flew to the Philippines. I learned how to cook Filipino food. I learned about the culture, and I learned more about my Filipino heritage.
And was it your first time in the Philippines when you went over to shoot this docuseries?
This was not my first time. I have visited family here. So my mom, my Lolo and Lola are from Bulacan and Batangas. So I've visited here before, but nothing like what we were able to see in the actual filming, because I got to visit Bacolod, Iloilo, and Pampanga as well.
Of course, we're very, very proud of your mom. She is, of course, the first Asian American and has served the first Filipino American executive chef of the White House. She has served 5 U.S. presidents and 8 administrations. Tell us all about that experience and how did that shape your culinary journey?
Actually, it has been the most amazing and blessed experience that I've ever had. I mean, who would have thought, somebody from Sampaloc, Manila would move to Washington, D.C. and cook for 5 presidents and 8 administrations. So it's really very humbling. I was actually a chef in Washington, D.C. when I was asked to help out during a state dinner for Nelson Mandela. This was back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yes, and so, I started just helping out, but in my mind, it's nice to help, but not, never thought that in 2005 that Mrs. Bush would actually appoint me as the executive chef, first woman, first Asian, first minority, first woman of color, and didn't realize how many glass barriers were broken during that time.
I know, it's amazing, your story getting there. How were you discovered and how did you get the opportunity to go to that room where your food is able to reach leaders from around the world?
One great thing about, reaching out the leaders of the world is that it's like I could kind of like, correlate it to how we cook food even here in the Philippines. Food means so much. Eating together, which we aptly call as culinary diplomacy or gastro diplomacy. It's really through food that we create great conversations, not just at home, but this also applies to all of the leadership from around the world. So whenever we have different heads of states from different countries, my job as the chef is to make sure that everything I would do is done intentionally to foster that.
And what Filipino food have you inserted into the menu?
Oh, of course, the Filipino-ness in me is always there. We have great opportunities of celebrating, different heritages, like during the month of May, the API event and the Filipino American event Heritage are also celebrated at the White House. So during those times, I really go just full force with my mom's lumpia and everybody's recipe. So I want to include other people's recipe as well, not just my mom, but my titas and also like people that I know that have great recipes because it's really not just about me, it's representing other people great food as well.
It's an heirloom recipe, your family's lumpia.
Oh, yes.
What's the
Of
favorite? What's been
course,
the
yes.
favorite apart from the lumpia?
Oh, it's more than just lumpia. I know that we are so well known. I even believe that when President Obama visited the Philippines a few years ago for state dinner here, he mentioned about the lumpia and the adobo and everything else. But we do more than just those two. So we try to really. The great thing about America right now, because of different immigrant communities that are present there, they have better availability of this really great ingredients. So things that we can't get like 3 decades ago when I first started there, it is so available, like, just even tamarind, little things that, finger limes, stuff that you never would have thought that would be available to use. So a chef's trying to do the real cuisine, we're able to actually mimic what it is supposed to be.
Daniel, how did your mom guide you through your journey here in the Philippines and doing this series and rediscovering your roots? Where did she tell you to go?
So through this show, she allowed me, or she grew up. When I grew up, she cooked a lot of Filipino food, and fortunately, I have a very extensive background in cooking. Both my parents were actually chefs as well. So I grew up around food and always just trying new things and very open to exploring. So when I was brought to the Philippines to film this show, and we tried things like kamaru and calabao, like I kind of had more open mind to just trying all these new things and learning more about Filipino culture.
We were looking at the videos of your docu-series and we're seeing Becoming Filipino here. Is he the lead in this docu-series?
So he was the host of a few of the episodes. I was the host of episode 3, Kain Kayo, Let's Eat. And he was the host of a few of the different episodes.
And where do you come in?
To the show, so the show is 1 in 76,441, and it is a 6-episode docu-series. So I came in, I flew into the Philippines around a year and a half ago to start filming this, and we filmed in Bacolod, Pampanga, and Iloilo, and it was my episode specialized in Filipino food, coming from the background as a pastry chef, but also someone who loves to cook and just loves to try new things. So we were able to explore Filipino food in 3 capitals and meet chefs, learn how to cook, and it was amazing.
And how long did it take for you to film these 6 episodes?
So I only filmed 1 episode, but it was around a few weeks that I got to film the 1 episode here, and it was so incredible.
What was your favorite?
Oh, that's so hard to choose because all of the cities offered so many amazing things. But I would say just my favorite part was the new foods that I haven't tried before, especially in like Bacolod and Iloilo. I was able to try a new soup called kansi, which I have never heard of before.
Kansi, yes.
And it actually became one of my favorite soups during the trip. So I love that.
And how do you imagine communicating the Filipino cuisine to the world? I mean, we do know that it is growing in popularity in New York, in Washington, D.C., even in London, in Europe. But still, a lot of people don't know much about Filipino food. How do you imagine we should communicate what it's all about and the identity of Filipino cuisine?
I think really highlighting chefs and upbringing the Filipino community, the community of Filipino chefs in Washington, D.C., especially, is very tight knit. And I want to pay credit and homage to a lot of the Filipino chefs that actually have taught me so much. Chef Paulo Dunca, Chef Julie Cortez, Chef Jaron Philippe. I work with them, and they're amazing Filipino chefs in Washington, D.C. And they have taught me so much about my Filipino culture and identity and just how to like function in the kitchen and just become a better culinarian.
What do you think is so distinct about the Filipino way of serving dishes that we could be proud of? I mean, you yourself, you are a fusion of two identities. You're Asian and you're American. What is the Filipino side to this equation that we bring in?
I think for the Filipino side, it's really so much about community and sharing and coming together, because whenever we have like a Filipino gathering or like a family gathering, the one thing that really unites us is food. Like anytime you're gonna go over to like your Lola's house or your Tita's house, it's always gonna be an abundance of food, and it's just about that culture and community of sharing a meal together and sitting down and really just spending time with your family while they're around, because it's a very short life here, so just connecting and really getting to know each other well.
Hey, how about you, Chef Cris? How did you feel? I mean, watching Danielle take this journey of rediscovering her Filipino roots.
I was actually very jealous because I've never been to any of these places that she has been and tasted some food. Growing up in the Philippines, I mean, I lived in Manila. I mean, Bulacan is a wonderful, regional cuisine, Batangas as well. But then it's not just about those three cities, like what it says, 1 in 7, 641. I mean, there's more than just three provinces. I mean, there's 7,000 and more other islands to try out there. And there are ingredients even that I was asking Danielle when she came home. I'm like, I've never seen kansi ever in my life. So she's tried dishes that I've never even tried in my life. So I'm just so happy for her. And now it's time to pass the baton to the younger chefs, because the younger chefs are the ones that are going to take this Filipino cuisine to the next level and move it to the next generation that's going to be upcoming.
Are you going to bring a Kansi to the White House?
Oh, I have retired like a year ago. So
Oh, okay.
yes, probably in West Palm in Florida, I'll bring it back, but I don't think I can.
Maybe Daniel will cook Kansi for you to try it, and then you can spread the dish in Washington, D.C. first before it gets to the White House. Okay, why is it 1 in 7,640? We do know that it represents the number of islands in the Philippines, but what is the number one?
For me personally, I would interpret the 1 in 7,641 as like myself becoming and going back to the Philippines, the homeland, and kind of doing my own journey. Like, I'm one person, I'm just one girl. For me, I'm just a girl. I'm just going back to the Philippines to really learn and discover and just like explore things that I've never explored before, meet new people. And it's really about like one person's journey, but really collectively all of us. So like getting to just know yourself more and learn more about yourself and your culture and just growing as a person.
And when could we watch this docuseries? Is it showing now?
Yes, so 1 in 7,641 is available now on Netflix. It's available in the Philippines, US, all English-speaking territories. So.
And how do you hope Filipino cuisine will evolve, both in the Philippines and abroad, for the next generation and for Asian Americans like you?
Well, hopefully, I think this show will bring so much light to the Philippines and a lot of like my friends and family that I'm showing this show to and that are starting to watch it now on Netflix. They're discovering the Philippines, like, because they've never seen a lot of these places, and they're really highlighting like, oh, the Philippines is more than just Manila. It's more than just, one island. It's 7,641. So it's just really amazing to see, and hopefully, um, you know, in the future, it would be nice to even do maybe another trip like this, or even another season, to even highlight more parts of the Philippines that we didn't even get to show during this trip.
And you need to spend years here to be able to discover what the Philippines can offer. But for mommy Cris, when are you coming back to give us a try? I mean, of your cooking.
Yeah, I mean, my hope as well is that, we are all, the chefs are great ambassadors. So, but we tend to be on the food side, so we're food ambassadors. But food is such a uniting, element that I really want to come back. I want to share what I know because I have learned a lot from my mom, my lola, my tias and tios, because in Batangas the men cook. In Batangas when I was growing up, all the women were the one cooking. So I really want to share as well, what I know, because it's really passing it to the next generation and not holding back the recipe like, oh, it's a secret recipe, it's just for my family. No, food is about sharing because it's really what means to kind of, it's uniting the table.
That's good to see you reorienting your daughter, Daniel, with her Filipino roots. And we hope to have you both over here in the Philippines. And hopefully we could take a bite from all the secret recipes that you have served leaders, again, from around the world. Maraming salamat for joining us today and talking to us about your journey. 1 in 7,641 is showing now on Netflix. Do tune in and give yourself a treat.